brought me to Jonesborough. I fell in love. I met someone online and decided to come to Jonesborough to meet for the first time about 25 years ago. And then that was back in the days of dial-up internet. So I came over here April 1st to meet Jeff Dupre and ended up staying. It was kind of funny. I came over on a Friday, which was April 1st. Ended up spending the weekend, and the second day, April 2nd, was townwide cleanup. And Jeff's like, "You're going to have to help me do this tomorrow." So we came down to downtown. We brought our lawnmowers, and I met this lady named Betty Wilster, and she was a retired military lady, and she was really stern. So that was my first impression of Jonesborough, meeting this lady. And I'm like, I hope everybody in Jonesborough is not this way. So there was a lot of people downtown that I met that day, and I'm like, well, this is a pretty nice place. I had no clue. I was living in Asheville at the time, and had no clue where Jonesborough was, or how close it was to Asheville. And that weekend, I met a lot of people in town, and I had this impression like everybody kept asking, "Who are you? Why are you here?" Da 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 da. So the first impression was a little bit scary, but as I kept coming over on different weekends or stay for a week, and I met the neighbors and met a lot of people in town, I finally decided I was moving to Jonesborough. I'm the kind of person that gets to know people easily. I'm a little shy getting to know people to begin with, but after coming over 2 or 3 weekends, I knew most everybody downtown and around our neighbors and all that, so it was really cool.
Do you consider yourself a Jonesboroughian?
Yeah, I do, because I know if somebody says David, they're talking about me. There's not a whole lot of other Davids in downtown Jonesborough, which is nice. To be living in Jonesborough, it means that I'm part of a community. And with my job at Boone Street Market as the store manager, I've gotten to know a lot more people in the community and the surrounding areas, and for me it's a good place to be.
What is it about Jonesborough that keeps you here, about the people here?
My friends and the community itself, my job with Boone Street Market. I mean, this is basically, I'm 60 now, so I've been here almost half of my life. We had a restaurant downtown for about 8.5 years, and that's, I got to be a part of the community that way. And it means a lot for me to be here. Oh, Boone Street Market, I think I've been there a little over 5 years. It's kind of a blur. I'm the store manager. I'm responsible for doing some ordering, keeping the store stocked with product, making sure the employees are doing what they're supposed to. I also cook on Mondays for our grab and go. We have our third Thursday burger night, so I cook on burger nights. I help with different events that we do. I deal with a lot of farmers. A lot of people in the community come to the store, to Boone Street Market, because I work there, which I found out recently from some people. People just stop in just to say hey, or if they're out walking, they'll stop and I'll go out and talk to them, things like that. I'm surprised at how accepting a lot of people are in town of gay people. When Jeff and I got married, we got married at the Parson stable building. We invited about 50 people, and over 200 people showed up. It was crazy, but that's what really surprised me about the community. It was the social event of the season that year, is what people said. So yeah, we were the first couple in Tennessee that got our marriage license, and they actually had to change the form. They had to scratch out the old form and just put Mr. and Mr. on the marriage license, because they didn't want to wait until the state sent them the right forms. The other things that surprised me about the community is what a tight-knit community it is. We have a lot of really good people that live in town, and I've got great neighbors and great friends, and I enjoy being here. In the last 2 years since Jeff's died, it's been very difficult being out in the community as much and trying to figure out who I am now. Some of my hopes for Jonesborough are that we can preserve the history of Jonesborough but move into the future. I see things happening moving into the future as far as things that are going on now. The McKinney Center, the Jackson Theater, the Storytelling Center, the new parks that the town's doing. I can see how Jonesborough is moving forward that way. I don't want to see us going backwards.
Yeah.
I enjoy being part of the community. I enjoy doing stuff like helping with the progressive dinner every year, and this year I was on the progressive dinner this year. We did the soup course at my house, and that's the first time in about 7 or 8 years that the house was on the progressive dinner, and I really enjoyed that. And it kind of made me think, well, you know, I can move on with life a little better and do some more things in the community. The history behind Dogwood Lane is it was dedicated to Doug, and I can't think of his last name. He was the director of Parks and Rec, and he was the first person in the United States that a park was dedicated to that died of AIDS. And I don't think a whole lot of people even know that. I've met a lot of really nice people that are moving to the area at work because, you know, people say, we're looking around, we're thinking of moving around this area. And I'm like, well, you need to move to Jonesborough, don't move to wherever. And they ask me why, and I tell them about the community and this and that. We've got a lot of people that are moving to the area and buying up our farmland and not using it for that purpose. And as far as my job at Boone Street Market, everybody is a farmer, and I'm seeing all the farmland go away, and that's not a good thing, because if you don't have farms, you don't have food. And I'm noticing more and more of that every time I drive down Boone's Creek Road or any other place in Jonesborough. But there are a lot of nice people moving here. As far as like downtown Jonesborough, I'd like to send them to all the shops and explain to them, you know, the people that have shops and restaurants downtown live here, and they're part of the community. And, you know, if you move here, you need to be part of the community too.